What's up everybody, Adam here, and I'm bringing you just a real quick video today. I saw there's a guy, Longshank78, who's doing a little contest. He wants to see 15 villains on 15 covers. And I thought that would just be fun to do, so I went ahead and trawled through some of my boxes. You can see all my little long boxes back there kind of in a disarray as opposed to how they normally are, to dig out some of my favorite villain cover things here. So I'm going to go ahead and just start getting right into it. First up, we have Thanos Rising number 2. Honestly, it's very hard for me to choose one particular Thanos cover. There's so many good ones, but I enjoy this one a lot because he's just kind of sitting there in his throne, just, you know, playing with some floating skulls. So Thanos and Death just hand in hand. I think this cover really embraces that. Put this over here, actually. Next up, Iron Man number 241, In the Hands of the Mandarin. I mean, it's really not even the Mandarin in the shot, but there's something about this picture with the way the Mandarin's hand and his rings are just coming down to crush Iron Man, where it's kind of the subtlety of it that I just think is a really cool cover. Like I said, it doesn't really even embrace the entire character, just that control and that power over Iron Man, it looks like. And that's why I think that's just a really cool cover of the Mandarin. Next up, X Factor number 38. Mainly for, oh gosh, Madeline Pryor. I'll say Goblin Queen, like my brain just shut down there. With her facing off against Jean Grey. It's just kind of a cool thing. I like it. The cover is a little red. That's what it is, but the way I interpret it is as kind of just their powers reacting around each other, causing all the red glow, and it's just, I just think it's a really cool cover. Next up, X Factor number 108, Mystique. Technically a good guy at this point, but I think Mystique is just commonly more known as a villain, and there's something about all the skulls in the background and her just kind of standing there looking a little sexy, got her gun going on, strong, independent woman look, and yeah, I just think it's a really cool cover the way it's done. So that one, I'll save you for last. Next up, King Size Annual The Amazing Spider-Man number 15. You can kind of see Spider-Man and the Punisher fighting it out in the newspaper. And the reason I like this one so much, it's Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus is reading the newspaper and drinking a cup of coffee. It's one of those things where it's just kind of like, I like when they take a little creativity instead of just always being like, villain knocks down a wall, or villain has hero in a trap. Like, this one is just, Dr. Octopus has woken up for the day, and before he goes out to cause all of his havoc and carnage, he enjoys the morning paper and a coffee to see that Spider-Man is fighting the Punisher. So, I just think that's a really cool cover. They could have done that with anybody. They could have just had a normal person reading, but they decided to have, you know, Dr. Octopus here reading the newspaper. So that's really cool. Next up, Iron Man Super Double Size 150th Anniversary Issue. So Iron Man number 150. This is one of my favorite covers of Doctor Doom ever. I don't really know why. There's nothing really spectacular about it. This is also one of the first comic books I ever bought, so it might have just that nostalgia factor, and that's why. But there's something about Iron Man and Doctor Doom about to get into a big fist fight, instead of just like shooting laser beams and flying around, that, I don't know, just, I've always liked this cover. There's also a Lego variant of this cover out there somewhere. I think it's an Infinity miniseries issue, I can't remember, but I really want to get it, because it's basically the exact same cover, except they're both Lego figures. But there's something about this I just have always loved, and it's my favorite Doctor Doom cover. Next up, X-Men 25, Magneto ripping out Wolverine's skeleton. It's, you know, this was kind of right around that point where comics were starting to get a little gimmicky, and we got the little, we got Gambit. It's a Gambit hologram. I don't know if you can really make it out. It's kind of hard to make out these things in the videos. But it had the hologram cover, it was an event, it was, you know, all these things wrapped up into one. But I like it because it was just one of those moments where Magneto just went total D-bag and ripped out Wolverine's skeleton just to prove a point. And there's so many good Magneto covers too. I almost wanted to use, I want to say it was X-Men number 2 or 4, I can't remember which one it is, but basically he's got Professor X on the ground and he's holding him up, you know, just choking him out and just staring at him. It's just, there's so many good Magneto covers. Like I said, I just like this one simply because of the story, and, you know, it's right there on the cover. He's getting ready to rip out Wolverine's skeleton. Next up, Spectacular Spider-Man number 200. Extra super shiny foil cover, all holographic and foily, and it's got the Green Goblin. This is just one of those classic villain superhero moments. Spider-Man's trying to get on the glider there to take out the Goblin. Goblin's got the bombs. It's a good cover. I've always, anything with the Green Goblin, I'm usually pretty interested in, so yeah, I picked this one up. Plus, it was the giant size 200 issue, so why wouldn't you pick it up? Next up, Amazing Spider-Man number 346 with this crazy, crazy Venom cover. I just love how insane Venom looks here. Like, he literally looks like he's getting ready to eat Spider-Man. He's licking his chops, he's drooling all over the place, Spider-Man is cowering in the reflection of his eyes. It's a cool cover. I mean, a lot of times we'll see the regular Venom covers where he's kind of like bulky and looking, you know, just getting ready to do something, but this one just kind of shows the pure maniacal side of Venom. So I think this is a really cool cover. Next up, yet another Spider-Man cover. Amazing Spider-Man number 3 for the more recent series. I love this cover. I also love the Black Cat. This was one I showed recently in one of my other videos that I was able to pick this cover up. I used it to make a little stand for my computer stuff, so I wanted to make sure I had another copy of it. And I was able actually to find another copy of it. And I just like that it's almost like 2 covers in one. It's got the regular Spider-Man cover on it, and then it's got Black Cat, who's mad as heck at Spider-Man. I forget the exact reason why, but she's mad at him now for another reason, and she's just slashing through that cover, just showing her anger coming out. And it's a really cool cover. I like it. Next up, it's almost a twofer here, kind of. I like this because it's mainly for the Darkseid. He's just kind of chilling in the background there. But this is in Batman Superman number 12, where he's essentially corrupted the new Supergirl. And this is just kind of him standing there showing off his handiwork. You know, again, much like Thanos, there's so many covers with Darkseid, and they're all so good. But this one I like because he doesn't even have to show his strength in this one. It's literally just, look what I've done. I've changed this pure, innocent person into a being of my own design, to do with as I wish, just to hurt you. So, yeah, I like it. See, look how nice she is in the back there, see? She's all pure and happy, but here, she's just demonic and evil. It's my point. That's my point. Next up, Batman number 619. There's actually 2 I kind of want to show this one, because they're actually both variants, to the best of my knowledge. I know it's supposed to be 15 villains, but I almost have all 15 just in one cover. This was near the end of the Hush arc, and this was just one of the different variants you could get, and I just love all of the villains just kind of hanging out over Batman there. Just kind of being like, we've beat you, we've got you done. But that was kind of my runner-up to my actual next one, which is, again, Batman number 619. But this one's the Riddler. This one actually, I think, shows the kind of power the Riddler actually has, because most of the time it just kind of seems like the Riddler does a thing and then Batman catches him within an issue. Like, it never really seems like the Riddler is a major player in the Batman universe. Like, that's always been my opinion. But in this one, it actually shows him in the background manipulating everyone. He has the whole chessboard set up. Batman, Harley Quinn, Robin, Huntress, everybody here and he's literally just playing them like chess pieces. And that was like kind of the beauty and subtlety of this whole story arc, and I think this cover really brings that all together. Next up, Dark Avengers #1 variant with Iron Patriot and Norman Osborn hanging out in the background. This is another comic book I showed off. It's one I was contemplating getting graded. I mean, technically at this point he's kind of a superhero, but we all know deep down in our hearts Norman Osborn is no hero. And there's something about, yes, this is an Iron Man armor, but it still looks dark. And him in the background, Norman always has that creepy look to him. And I think they captured that essence well in this cover. And it's really, really good. And then the last one, before I show the very last one, I had a couple runner-ups. Because it's, again, one of those characters that we have probably 1,000,007 covers, so it's hard to choose one that really says, this is my favorite cover. First, we're going to be looking at Batman number 614, the Joker here getting choked out by Batman. And this is one of those things where you look at it and it's hard to tell, because there's going to be ways to interpret a picture. But it's hard to tell if he is getting choked out and dying and suffering, or if he's getting choked out and laughing and smiling because he may be making Batman kill him. You know, it's open to interpretation, and that's one of the great things about this cover, is it really makes you sit there and be like, is he loving this, or is he hating this? Because that's just how the Joker is. Next up, again, another Joker cover. This time, though, Batman number 429, Death in the Family, where he's just looking so dapper and proper with his monocle and his suit, and it just goes so hand in hand. He always has the purple suit, but this is just kind of that moment where his complete maniacal, crazy, anarchist, crazy self just looks like a normal member of high society and day-to-day living with his little, like I said, his monocle and his, you know, he's got all of this going on here. And he just looks so proper. He doesn't look like the kind of guy that would, you know, beat you to death with a crowbar and then blow you up and leave you for dead. So, yeah. Good on you for making the Joker look sophisticated. But no, the 15th cover. And I think it's probably for a lot of people, this might be the most iconic Joker cover. Is going to be Batman, The Killing Joke. Where he's got his camera, and can't really see it from the cover, but if you've read the story, you know, he's kind of got his vacation clothes going on, but he's taking the pictures as he causes all the havoc in the Gordon household. If you haven't read it, I'm not going to really spoil it any further than that. This book is really, really old, so you should have read it by this point, but if you're just getting into comics and you haven't read The Killing Joke, go out and read it. It's a really great, in my opinion, it's a really great Joker origin story. So go out and read it. Like I said, this is one of my favorite comic book covers of all time, period. And it's probably my favorite Joker. It's my favorite Joker cover until they make something new that replaces this one. As of right now, this is my favorite cover. So, yeah. But that is my 15 villains, 15 covers. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I might make little videos like this in the future. Just kind of a cool thing to showcase some of my comic books. So, until next video, this is Adam, signing off.